Right, so now it is my pleasure to introduce Judge Mike Clark, who will be introducing the Bold Steps for Children Award winners. And Judge Clark is an amazing partner and a great collaborator, and we're so delighted that he is here with us today to present the award. Judge Clark.
Thank you, Dr. Dewan. Thank you to our previous panel. And good afternoon to everyone who's attending this wonderful conference today. It's my privilege to introduce the 2022 Bold Steps for Children Award. My name's Mike Clark. I was appointed 2 months ago to serve as a presiding judge for the Santa Clara County Juvenile Court, where my predecessor, the amazing Judge Catherine Lucero, retired. She had just retired from the bench to accept Governor Newsom's appointment to serve as the very first director of the newly created State Office of Youth and Community Restoration. In her new position, Judge Lucero is now in charge of overhauling the juvenile justice system on a state level. Specifically, she's in charge of implementing Senate Bill 283, which closed the statewide youth prison system and now requires serious juvenile offenders be housed and treated in their own counties or as close as possible. So we're also very proud of Judge Lucero. Before she left us, and for the last several years, one of her biggest passions has been the Juvenile Justice Gender Responsive Task Force here in Santa Clara County. Several years ago, Judge Lucero joined forces with the Juvenile Probation Department, the Office of Women's Policy, and the Vera Institute of Justice to bring together a wide spectrum of community stakeholders involved here in Santa Clara County, particularly with the juvenile justice system, and including young people themselves. They gathered with the audacious and ambitious goal of ending the incarceration of girls in Santa Clara County. As a result of their collaborative work, Santa Clara County initially saw a 60% decline in the admission of girls to juvenile hall. That was between 2018 and 2020. More dramatic, since July of 2021, the average population of girls in the juvenile hall has been 1. And Judge Len Edwards referred to that at the beginning early this morning, 1. And there have been many days since then with 0 girls in juvenile hall. This is nothing short of remarkable and a testament to the groundbreaking work of the Gender Responsive Task Force. During the next year, the task force will focus more on permanently embedding important practice changes and developing deeper solutions. In your materials for today, you'll find a list of all the Gender Responsive Task Force member agencies and organizations. So it is my honor at this time to present the 2022 Bold Steps Award for Children to the Santa Clara County Juvenile Justice Gender Responsive Task Force. If we were in person, I would present this plaque to Julie Ramirez, Executive Director of the Office of Women's Policy, and Nick Burchard, Deputy Chief of Juvenile Probation, as they serve as co-chairs for this committee. And have to give a big shout out to Hannah Green, our technical advisor from the Vera Institute, without whose assistance we would not have gotten to where we are. We have a short video to show you, so I'll turn it over to whoever's going to start the video.
We've got solutions right here that have been developed in partnership and that can work.
In 2015, the Office of Women's Policy, Juvenile Court, and the Probation Department began to convene the Juvenile Justice Gender Responsive Task Force. In 2019, the JJGRTF set a new goal to end incarceration of girls and gender-expansive youth in the county. Fast forward a few years, and we regularly have days with 0 girls in custody. Since July of last year, our monthly average daily population of girls in custody has held steadily at 1.
The campaign to end the incarceration of girls was a whole phraseology that we were not used to hearing in Santa Clara County. I was approached by probation and by the Office of Women's Policy When we were able to get wind of this opportunity to actually end the incarceration of girls, we weren't even thinking yet about just not even having them in the door. Even just coming to court as a juvenile is harmful, let alone staying incarcerated. I believe it is incumbent upon us as system leaders to fully confront structural racism, sexism, the historical context that we find.
This has been an incredible initiative to be a part of, to be able to dream of freedom to this magnitude, then to actually make it happen. You need brave people in leadership with compassion, patience, and trust to let those whom have historically been impacted lead the work.
So the Vera Institute of Justice has been partnering with the JJGRTF since 2019. In 2018, we put out an RFP asking jurisdictions from across the country to apply to work with us and commit to ending girls' incarceration in their jurisdiction. And when we had a chance to meet the community and government leaders from the JJGRTF who had submitted their application, we could immediately tell that there was something special happening here. It's rare to see government leaders like Judge Lucero, Judge Clark, the Office of Women's Policy, Chief Garnett, and Nick Burchard at Probation, willing to acknowledge the harm that the legal system can cause and be willing to let community and those most impacted by those systems lead the way in designing and imagining something new. Santa Clara is showing us in real time that ending girls' incarceration is urgent, that it's necessary, and that it's possible.
I think these changes mean freedom. It means that their voice is being heard, that they're being treated like people, like the kids that they are, and they're not being incarcerated anymore.
The fact that we reached zero, I never would have thought like I would be a part of that. It's just been amazing to be the voice to those people that don't have a voice. But here we are, you know, and they see us and it's like, oh, if they can do it, then we can do it as well.
Some of the biggest changes is how we really look at the pathway and entry for girls into our system and being able to identify those right at the beginning. If a girl comes into custody, probably the biggest change is that the focus became on programs and services for girls in the community so that girls didn't come here at all. And there has to be a place for girls to not stay in juvenile hall, that they're still safe. And I think we're on the right track, finally doing that.
To be included in this work to end girls' incarceration has been extremely powerful because we took on an initiative that we never even thought would be considered in Santa Clara County or at all. But to be where we are today and to see the major milestones that we've reached, it's been beautiful. It's been empowering to see our young people stand up and take back their power.
I am a part of JJGRTF because I am committed to end incarceration for all youth in Santa Clara County, beginning with our girls.
Because I could be a part of professionals committed to youth well-being, healing, self-determination, and freedom.
I'm committed to ending girls' incarceration in Santa Clara County because I once was one of those girls incarcerated, and I think that it just needs to end, and I'm very proud of being part of this work, and it's really empowering.
Because all of us deserve to be free.
Because our girls matter.
And at the end of the day, these are somebody's kids.